Hello, hello. This is my first ever live, and I'm really excited to be here. I thought I would give something a go, something a bit different instead of doing a post. And I was going to talk to you about some of the things that my clients really struggle with, that are really common, and share some strategies with you. But I decided to do something different. And that is this morning, I was going through LinkedIn and I came across a post. And at the end of the post, the person asked, what would you say to your 21-year-old self? And my phone's about to ring. What would you say about your 21-year-old? What would you say to your 21-year-old self about leadership? And it really got me thinking. And I thought I would share these strategies because it really does relate to how you influence people and how you build your reputation. Now, as I go through this, bear with me. As I said, this is my first live. I would love any comments. Please just fire them away and I will reply to them or answer them. And if you're looking at this on the replay, I will get back to those comments. So when they asked that question, I took myself back to me at 21. Early 90s, long, dark, permed hair, and so feisty, like really feisty. I was such a feisty woman, young lady then, full of opinions. I would take conflict on head on. And the advice I would actually give to my 21-year-old self back then is to say that you don't have to prove to the world that you're a success. I actually don't know where to look, so it's either here or here. You don't have to prove to the world that you're a success, that you don't have to prove that you've got opinions and that they're worth listening to, that you're strong. Instead, just believe that you're worth it and walk through this world knowing your worth. That's it. Because as I've got older, decades and decades on, and I've become a mum, a wife, a better friend, and a coach, I've realized when it comes to conflict and when it comes to handling things, I have still got that fire in my belly and that real, I'm not going to be a wallflower situation. But I've realized there's different ways to get something that you want when it's not coming freely. So if that is a promotion, if that is a project, if that is being valued at work or at home, there's different things that you can do rather than being confrontational. Like I think I really was at 21. I think I was very opinionated and very confrontational. I think my mum would probably say that too. But what I've learned is the biggest skill of all is to be curious. So for me, if you're not getting the thing that you want, let's say the promotion or the opportunities or the project, I would get curious. And this is what I say to my clients, ask for feedback. So you say things like, well, what would make me more valuable to you? That is such an important question because suddenly you're getting the other person to think about, oh yeah, this person can be valuable. So what do I need? What do they need to demonstrate? And so you're getting information that you probably wouldn't have had before. Also, you could ask questions like, where am I crushing it right now? What's missing? So the more information that we get, the more chance we have of plugging those gaps. So when something isn't coming your way, meet it with curiosity. The other thing I would recommend is, especially in a conflict situation. Now, I know this is difficult because in the moment, when you see red mist and it descends, it's so difficult. But with practice, this can happen. What you can do is meet someone with empathy. And what I've noticed for me is when I do this, it's like having a bridge from how I feel and where I am and all the stuff that's going on for me, just parking that for a minute and crossing over and meeting them on the other side of the bridge. And that means I can get to understand them better. And when someone sees that you understand them, that you get them, they're more likely to listen to what you have to say. That is absolute gold. I know it's hard, but it's things like, in practical terms, it's things like saying or understanding what's keeping them up at night, what pressures are they under, what do they admire in other people. So those are a few questions that can start your mind thinking about what is it like to be in the shoes of that other person. So this is what I advise my clients on too. So when I think about me and my 21-year-old self, I love her to death. I love her spirit. I love her energy, and I love her get up and go and let's get this and sort it out attitude. I love her for that. And what I would really say, there's different ways to approach life to get a really good result. And as I've matured over the years, decades, sadly, I realized that curiosity means that you call someone in for a conversation rather than just calling them out. I mean, yeah, there are times when you need to do that, but when you call them in for a conversation, it's an opportunity to build bridges, to really understand, and ultimately to get what you really want, because suddenly you've got this information that you didn't have before. And empathy, I want to be a good person. I want to be kind. Doesn't mean I can't have tough conversations, but I've realized that when we offer empathy, people respond so differently. That gift when you feel like, oh God, I've been seen, I've been understood. You just want to listen to the other person. So that would be what I would say as I'm bringing to this live to a close. But if you're looking at this on the replay and you've got some questions that you want to ask me, write it in the comments and I will come back and I will answer them. Well, and I just want to say, I hope you've enjoyed this first live. I have, yay! I've been putting it off for so long and I'm just so glad that I've done it and I've been here with you today. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye for now.